Hello there, my name is Cho-Nan, CEO of Hyperionsoft. Today we're going to be demoing our software called LoanFlow. LoanFlow is an operating origination system and a loan management system all combined in one. It's AI native and totally white label solution for banks and lenders alike. So we're going to get started with this screen right here. This is what a potential borrower would be looking at when they go onto our website on their mobile device. So they can actually click on Get Started to apply for a loan. And for the purpose of demoing, we're using a fictitious bank called Poseidon Bank, just for your information. So we're on the first screen. The borrower can enter information about themselves and their business that will be used to apply for a loan. We're asking for mobile phone, email address, and many other things that are useful for our underwriting process. And if the user or the borrower in this case would like to, they can connect their social media account. This is very useful for us because then we get additional data points about the user as a person. But this is totally optional, right? And at this step, for some of our potential customers, they are in countries where there is an infrastructure for connecting their bank account to our app. This is where they would do so, right? But of course, this is not often the case for some of the countries, or for some of the countries with segments, they are in the unbanked segment, so they don't necessarily have a bank account. But we have other ways to capture data as well. On this screen, we're going to be able to put in the amount the user would like to borrow, and the user can select the purpose of the fund that will be used. So in this case, we're going to pick business expansion. And as I was saying earlier, right, if we didn't have ability to connect bank account, we can actually have the borrower upload their ID, their income statement, tax return, so on and so forth. And this will go to our document portal for management later. And at this point, we're going to begin our KYC process. So the borrower actually can use this to capture their facial images using our app, okay? And so assuming everything goes well, we'll capture the image, we're going to move forward. And at this time, behind the scene, our decision engine is crunching all the data we have received so far. So we have now a pre-approval term sheet that we're presenting to this borrower, right? Here are the loan amount, monthly payment, interest rate, and the fees that we're charging, okay? And we're telling the potential borrower at this point, hey, the impact to credit score, very minimal, right? And the approval likelihood, super high. And so they're very enticed and very interested at this point to go forward with the application process. So at this point, they're going to be reviewing, but we want to make sure we are getting their email and their phone number. So at this point, we are sending them a special verification code to a mobile device. And once they receive it, they're going to enter it right here just to confirm we have the right phone number for the mobile phone, okay? So verify code, everything looks good. Now we're going to verify the email. Again, we're sending the code to their email. Here I am finding the email, and I'm going to be putting in the code. And we're verifying it. Everything looks really good. Okay, so the borrower at this point will then submit their application to us. And the borrower, of course, will be presented these options to download the mobile app from us, right? At this time, this is because we're using the bank called Poseidon Bank. They will be downloading a Poseidon Bank a mobile app onto their phone, right? So it could be an iPhone or Android, okay? So we're gonna pause right here and then switch to another view. So the loan application have now arrived on this virtual desk for this Poseidon Bank loan officer, right? And we are now presenting this dashboard so a loan officer or credit risk manager can come and actually have a look. These are all the loans they've received recently. Okay, they're all here. You can filter by submitted, pre-approved, approved, rejected, or renewal. Anytime when you click on here, the bottom portion will refresh. And we're also showing sort of the overarching process for the week. We receive these number of applications throughout the week. This is our processing time per application from submission to approval. And our AI now is also able to risk any sort of issues that are important, and so that the loan officer can go in and actually address them. Okay. So we're going to open up one of these little applications. They are here on our application. So this is application L001. AI has given it a ranking of 87 out of 100. So we know this is a decent loan application. Here's the background information for the borrower. We also have financial summary about the borrower, about their income, money expenses, their credit score. Here's more in-depth financial metrics about the borrower. We're looking at income breakdown, debt to income ratio, and anything that's interesting to a loan officer to look at, right? Aside from all the financial stuff, more importantly, we're looking at this behavioral analysis of this particular borrower. We're actually doing psychometric analysis, right? People, when they enter these information on an application, they take time, but how much time are they spending? That's the question that often people ask. So a serious borrower is going to spend more time in these various sections of the application, and we can tell how much time they are spending, right? Versus if you are a potential scammer or fraudster, you're most likely to skip a lot of these steps or do these forms very quickly. So this is potentially somebody that we think are probably not a good fit for us, right? And we also have additional information about the user, where they work, where they live, and where the application was submitted to us, and if they're repaying the loan, where the repayment information coming in. So it's all captured on this activity map. Obviously, this is happening all in the same neighborhood, so this is pretty good and safe. But if you have people that are showing up in GPS with GPS locations, they're all far away, most likely some type of fraudulent activities involved. And again, here we are supporting documents that's been uploaded. It's all here for anybody to review from the company internally. AI is recommending these things to do for the loan officer, and here's the overall risk assessment. So how are we able to come up with all this information, right? So we actually have a data repository for this loan application. This is everything we're extracting from the loan application itself. We're also extracting from the device that once the user has downloaded the mobile app, we're able to actually get these metadata. We're getting all the behavioral stuff, right? How fast they are typing on the loan application. And also we're able to do some type of assessment. How truthful is this person, right? We're also getting a sense of the contact information from the mobile phone, right? The people that are calling the most, the people that are calling them the most, right? And here's a call log, and this is all very good analysis for underwriting or for loan collections or debt collections later on. So lots of information to dig into for a loan officer who's really interested in the case, so they can make good decision if they don't want to leave the decisioning to the AI. So let's take a closer look at the decision engine, right? We are allowing internal credit officers to adjust these criteria needed for these loan profiles that we want to set up in the portfolio. So usually we call them green lane and red lane and orange or amber lane, right? For each of these profiles, we can adjust the credit score. So this way, we then can have different notes or segments in our portfolio. And so it's hyper customizable, okay? And then for each of these profiles, we can see, the interest rate range can be different, right? So we're really tailoring the interest and the amount of money that we can make from each of the segment individually by profile. And once you have set all that stuff up, you can actually run scenario simulations, right? This is what it is currently, and this is what it's going to look like, right? Once we have the new settings turned on. So we can actually get a sense of how things will perform before we actually apply everything in production. And here's more information on the vintage analysis, again on the default rate, which is very, very critical for a lending business. We also have some high-level metrics useful for a credit person. All right, so then now, if we wanted to know more about the portfolio and overall the application coming in, there are all these different modules that you can sink your teeth into, right? I'm just going to focus on the next one, which is the portfolio analysis. And so for this one, the nice thing here is, we have incorporated AI in here, so we can actually, start by asking questions. Hey, maybe tell me about what you can do, right? So the AI is going to respond, yes, you can help me with delinquency rates by segment, loan size trends, industry, credit, stress indicators. So these are all good. I'm just going to pick one for the purpose of demoing. So show me delinquency rates by segment now. Okay, so we're looking at, okay, these are the various segments and the delinquency is comparing to the previous periods. And here are some commentaries from AI, and this is going to help humans to know what to focus on. Again, this is very, very useful for somebody who wants to have a good handle on the portfolio. And of course, the information like recovery and risk breakdown, very, very helpful. Okay, so we're gonna pause right here. So imagine, everything looks good for this application, and we're gonna, submit this for final approval and assume everything is approved. Now we're going to switch back to the borrower. He's already ready to see what's available to him in terms of the fund amount, and also what the experience will look like in the mobile device, right? So we click on done, and we're looking at this home dashboard for the borrower. He's able to see, oh, this is my loan balance, okay? And it's giving him a reminder, the next payment is going to be due on December 15, right? And various account information. The user can make a payment. And if there's some type of virtual debit card or credit card issue against the loan account, that information is going to show up right here, right? Payment history. And again, we're integrating AI in here so that the user can ask any information about his account. And just, everything we have seen here is totally customizable and white label enable for any lender or banks that want to work with us. We're happy to listen to your needs and requirements to make this a successful venture for you and for us as well. So please reach out to us if you have any further questions. Thank you so much.